How's it guys, this is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Now in this video, I'll be taking you through my very own transfer plan for the upcoming Game Week 10. So I know super early, but there's a reason I wanted to record this video as soon as possible, and you guys will see that when I talk about my transfer plan for the upcoming Game Week. But as always with these kind of transfer plan videos, I'll be giving you guys an overview of the current Game Week, and that's going to be Game Week 9, and I'll show you why I'm on currently a green arrow. But otherwise, hopefully you guys, Sunday is going absolutely crazy. Yesterday was an absolute banger. Let's hope today is another one. But getting back to this kind of transfer plan and this specific video, if you guys are interested to see what I'm going to be doing for Game Week 10, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So let's do a quick review of Game Week 9 and see how the Game Week is currently going. As mentioned, currently on a green arrow, but there's still quite a bit of football still to be played. So that green arrow was thanks to a massive 62 points scored on Saturday. No, I didn't own Mo Salah. I didn't captain Mo Salah. It was simply the other differentials that came in clutch. So we're currently sitting on the 750k mark, which is quite nice. But as mentioned, still a lot of football to be played. Now in terms of Game Week 10, we have one free transfer and 0.3 left in the bank. So a slight upgrade can be made if we want to do it. Now obviously, as mentioned, a lot of football still to be played. Today we still have Aston Villa taking on West Ham. A lot of wildcarders in Game Week 8. A lot of kind of free transfers have been used on those players. So this rank will definitely be going down after Sunday. But luckily on Monday night, we have Spurs versus Fulham. We have 3 Spurs assets, namely Udogie, Porro and Heung-min Son. So fingers crossed the defense of Spurs does better than the attack. So these 3 options still have to play on Monday, but as mentioned, today there's football, tomorrow there's football, but I'll update you guys in the team selection on the overall rank for Game Week 9. But in the comments down below, how is your Game Week currently going? If you guys are watching this on Sunday night, Monday afternoon, you guys can post your kind of rank after the Villa versus West Ham game. Otherwise, just post whatever rank you guys are currently on and the total points. Now let me go through a quick rundown of who actually scored points on Saturday. This is going to reflect in our transfer plan if we choose to wildcard or not. Because if these options did end up performing, we might just want to keep them. But as you guys can see on our bench, not many points took place. We've got Johnston with 1 point after conceding 4 goals to Newcastle, which is a little bit expected and that's why I benched him. Then we have Archer against United. Sheffield United actually ended up scoring, but Archer wasn't involved, so he only ended up on 2 points. Then the 2 injured players, Botman and Baldock. The Botman one was quite annoying because I guess I could have put him in my starting 11. But on Friday, Eddie Howe said he was improving, then come Saturday, apparently he hasn't even been training. After the game, Eddie Howe also said that he couldn't say yesterday that he wasn't training. Don't exactly know why he couldn't say that. I know Botman's an integral part of the defense, but not kind of a game changer in terms of Newcastle. So a little bit of kind of deception by Eddie Howe in that press conference, but I guess we'll take it. We weren't going to play Botman anyways, but I would have liked a more realistic kind of indication on when he's going to come back. So at the current moment, don't exactly know when he's going to be returning to training. Same with Baldock, both are currently out, and therefore our bench is looking super thin. Luckily though, most of our starting 11 have featured. Going to start off with Matt Turner, not much in between him and Johnston, both got 1 point, after he conceded 2 goals to Luton. So I was expecting slightly more from Matt Turner. He was kind of on a clean sheet and 2 save points, could have stretched maybe 3 save points and a clean sheet, then we would have been looking at a nice little haul. But that wasn't the case, and I do think Turner's kind of game time is ticking along. If you guys don't know, Nottingham Forest signed a new goalkeeper in the transfer window, and I think his turn's going to come quite shortly. At least on many of the other kind of goalkeepers got many points this week, but these would have been nice differential points. Talking about kind of differential points, in terms of the overall kind of FPL template, Kieran Trippier is definitely a differential, but in terms of the overall ranks, he's actually quite well owned. So if you guys managed to get the lovely 10-pointer from Trippier, congrats on that one. Yes, he got a yellow card, but at least he made up for it with an assist. And he also racked up 2 bonus points. So this was kind of an expectation though, as mentioned in the team selection last week. This is almost a locked-in clean sheet without Eze for Crystal Palace. Newcastle's defense is super strong. But if you do choose to wildcard, it's going to be quite hard to downgrade Trippier. Then in terms of the rest of the defense, as mentioned, Udogie and Porro are playing against Fulham. Fingers crossed it's a clean sheet and some attacking returns, as that's going to solidify the green arrow. But now let's go into the midfield department. The man in the middle, as I always say, Mbeumo with the massive 14-pointer, nearly matching Mo Salah, which is quite appreciated. So Mbeumo, if you guys didn't see, the goal was an absolute banger or cracker of a strike. He also racked up an assist and 3 bonus points, taking him to a total of 14. So in this game week, I super needed Mbeumo to return, as mentioned. Probably going to take him out on a wild card if I do choose to use it. And I was never going to take him out before Burnley at home. So finally, we managed to catch another Mbeumo haul. Congrats if you guys hold him for this long. That's why it feels so good. But this might be a goodbye present at the end of the day. Now I did actually make a free transfer. As mentioned, I was going to take a 1 week punt in the deadline stream. We waited until like 2 minutes before the deadline to make this move, as we did get confirmation that Luis Diaz and Jota will be starting. So I opted for the center forward. If you guys know, Luis Diaz plays on the left hand side, Salah on the right hand side. If Jota started, it meant that he was center forward, and I was always going to choose the striker in that game. Now I mentioned this over on Twitter, but if you guys told me that I'd be getting a full kind of 90 minutes from Jota against a 10-man Everton, I would have made this choice every day of the week. But unfortunately, it didn't come to kind of fruition. We only got 3 points from Jota, but at least he outperformed Sterling, who I took out for him. Also outperformed Foden, who we also were looking at. So yes, the points difference might be small, but every point matters. So yes, the 1 week punt didn't kind of pay off, but I guess as I said, there weren't many other options. Gibbs White also didn't end up performing. So game week 9 wasn't the week of the 1 week punt. And the final 2 assets to talk about are going to be our United assets. So yes, at least Bruno got us some points, 7 points total from an assist and some bonus. But Rashford was super disappointing yet again. Now he also ended up getting subbed a little bit early on, but also missed a big chance. So what could have been in this easier fixture? But yes, the United assets at the moment are really kind of stinking up my team. They're simply terrible. If Ten Hag was considering Sheffield United to be a tough opponent, don't exactly know what to expect with these upcoming games. So at the current moment, at least Bruno, as I said, got us some points, but both these 2 players could be on the way out. Then the final 2 options to go over is going to be Erling Haaland. He was our captain. He got us 8 points, double to 16. Now I was expecting Man City to score more goals against Brighton, but it was only the 2, but I guess at least he did get on the score sheet. Out of the rest of our squad, I guess Son dependent. If Son goes out and bangs it, he could have been a captain option, but I was probably always going to go for Erling Haaland. So if you guys did go for Mo Salah, if you went for a no Haaland draft, congrats. I think it was another game week that you guys came out trumps, as Erling Haaland just seems to be misfiring quite a bit. At least his colleague Julian Alvarez also got us a goal and also some bonus points. He got 3, whereas Erling Haaland only got 2. So at least the double up both Man City goal scorers we did have in our squad, and Alvarez continues to be such good value. But overall, as you guys can see, that 62 points on Saturday came from 8 assets. We have 3 coming up on Monday, but you guys probably have more coming up today. As mentioned, let me know how your game week went. Was it a green arrow? Was it a red arrow? And where are you guys sitting in the overall ranks currently? Now, before we actually go over my transfer plan, I want to give you guys the context of how my current squad is looking. So I'm going to go over a team selection for the upcoming game week 10. So I'm going to start off on the bench, and the bench this week kind of picks itself. Not a great game week for our bench options. Got Sheffield United against Arsenal. Baldock is not back in training anyways, so it'll only be Archer who I definitely will be benching. Other than that though, we've got Turner against Liverpool. Won't be playing him in that away game at Anfield, as I do expect Liverpool to score quite a few. Then the final option, Botman, yes, against Wolves away, I could potentially play him. I just don't exactly know with the kind of Champions League, maybe we'll see him on the bench, because at the current moment hasn't been training, so obviously won't be playing. Now because I'm benching Turner, I'll be starting Johnston between the sticks. He has Spurs at home. This is a very tough game on paper yet again, not expecting clean sheets from either of my goalkeepers. The defensive department continues to Kieran Trippier against Wolves away. Great game on paper, but as mentioned, we have the Champions League coming up, and Newcastle do take on Dortmund, which is quite a hard game. But I guess Kieran Trippier is almost fixture proof. If it's a tougher game, he might lose the clean sheet, but because he's on all kind of set pieces, the attacking threat is always going to be there. So I'm perfectly fine kind of having Kieran Trippier for this game. It's a good one on paper, and the Newcastle defense is pretty solid. Then we continue our double up with Udogie and Porro. Now this is a great game on paper, like with Newcastle, almost locked in clean sheet, as the Crystal Palace attack is looking simply terrible. So the defensive department overall, the back 3 looks simply outstanding. All these players have attacking threat, defensive threat is always going to be there. So I don't really have a problem with my defenders. Now the problems do kind of start in the midfield department. Going to start off with Mbeumo against Chelsea. Now Chelsea, yes, they kind of choked that 2-0 lead, but they are still looking like a pretty decent defense. Now Mbeumo is going to come off hot from that game week 9 a goal and assist, but I still feel like this is a tougher game on paper. Likely though, Jota has a better game. Nottingham Forest at home, the only concern there is that will he actually start? All the attackers are actually back in training, so there will be limited minutes in the upcoming game weeks. So yes, great fixture on paper. If Jota starts, maybe we'll see on Thursday if he's benched in the Europa League. But otherwise, he is a little bit of a rotation concern. Heung-min Son comes in though with the kind of a training being managed because of that current injury. But he should be fine for Crystal Palace, and this is quite a good game. So no problems with kind of Jota and Son. Yes, Jota might be rotated. Son has his injuries, but these are players that I definitely could be keeping. The 2 players though that I definitely don't want to keep are going to be the United assets. It's me, Bruno and Rashford, and they have Man City at home. So know that Man City aren't playing at their kind of highest ability at the moment. They're conceding quite a few to some lower teams. So maybe United will actually score. But at the current moment, I've lost all faith in Bruno and Rashford. Bruno has a little bit more faith in him because he's creating chances, but Rashford seems to be off form completely. The added fact that United aren't looking great just makes you want to take out both these two options. Then the final two options are going to be facing United. It's those Man City strikers. It's going to be Haaland and Alvarez, both two very viable options, as I can see Man City scoring against United. But I guess this game could be one of those form changes. If United end up winning this, their season could turn around, but I don't know how much faith I have in that. So the striker department also don't really have too much worries about. Haaland is a no-brainer. He's an essential option if you guys want to go for him. And then Alvarez is such a good value at the current moment. So I guess the biggest concerns for me are the midfield department. In Bumo, the Brentford fixtures get quite tough. Can I trust Porro and Udogie to get clean sheets? And the United assets are really kind of making my team look bad. I also don't have the GOAT of FPL at the moment, the Egyptian king Mo Salah, and Liverpool's fixtures just get better and better. So the question I want to pose to you guys is that if this was your team, would you guys wildcard? Do you think there's enough to wildcard, enough changes to make? Drop it in the comments down below. But let's go on to my actual transfer plan. So the biggest question is, am I wildcarding in Game Week 10? Was kind of a plan that we sketched out over the past couple game weeks. And the news is that I have actually activated the wildcard. So that's why I wanted to create this video for you guys to just let you know that I have activated the wildcard. If you guys want to go for it, activate it, catch those price rises. We already caught the Tsimikas price rise and the Rashford price drop. So if you guys have any questions about the wildcard, drop in the comments down below. If you're concerned, maybe you don't need the wildcard, drop your team and I'll try and help you out as much as possible. Now the wildcard draft will be released tomorrow. I'm going to take some time, do some planning. So the first draft will drop on Monday, so make sure those notifications are turned on. But for the time being, I just want to let you guys know this. Enjoy the Sunday football, enjoy the Monday football. Hopefully our defense absolutely bangs. But this is basically going to wrap up the video, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like if you did and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I'll be seeing you guys as mentioned for the wildcard draft tomorrow. But you guys can always drop your drafts in the comments down below. By me signing off, it's been Dayvy FPL and I'm out. Cheers, bye.